Hello everyone, it is I, Magician88, and today we're going to be casting yet another game of the StarCraft Collegiate Society Tournament. It's going to be another best of 3, and we're still in week 4 even though it is Sunday. It's just the last day of week 4 now. So of course the first map will be on Neoplanet S, so let's get in there. It's going to be a TVZ between what appears to be a Diamond League player and a Masters League player. So I think this is going to be some pretty high level play, and let's see how well they go against each other. So in the top right hand corner we have our purple Zerg. It is going to be Vivid. And in the bottom left hand corner we have our sort of light pig Terran player who's going to be Computer. So this time I'm using a different UI skin. It's called the minimal skin. But I do actually have all the hotkeys on like a notepad, so that if I actually do forget a few things, I can just go back to have a look at it, so that I remember what they are. If you want to have a full list of all of the hotkeys for replay viewing, you can find them on Team Liquid, which is basically where I got them all from. And so yeah, so we do see pretty standard production from our Terran player. He's actually got the new Supply Depot skin, which actually looks quite neat. Actually, I reckon it's pretty good. It does actually have an antenna there, which is pretty strange because it does not do any scans or anything. So that's a bit of a shame, but whatever. It's just decoration. I have no idea what resources they have right now. So if we bring up the resource tab right now, it looks like our Terran player is looking to expand very early, just as our Zerg player has actually begun to expand right there. Okay. So there is no like control thing, but we do see the command center being dropped down here, and then the barracks. I think well, it's not really that useful to hide the command center, seeing that generally speaking you want to expand early against Zerg, because they're going to be getting their hatch first versus Terran at least. It's just very safe that way, unless the Terran decides to do some sort of 2-racks rush, or just even some 2-racks pressure. A little bit of scouting will easily confirm whether or not that's happening. With that Overlord already scouting around there, and the drone, well, no, the drone didn't scout, did it? But anyway, hatchery almost done, just as the command center is almost done for our Terran player right here. It's reaching 94. It's almost finished. We do have the SCV here, it's pretty much just making sure that there's nothing particularly strange happening. We have double orbitals coming down from our Terran player, which is actually pretty standard. It's much the same way 2 queens coming up from our Zerg player. It's also pretty standard as well. 2 lings, of course, just basically going to try and hunt down this. 2 lings basically going to try and hunt down this SCV. I think they also have. Our Zerg player has actually unlocked the the new skin for the Zergs, for the Zerglings. And if he gets, well, it looks like, I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like the Swarmling from the campaign. That's what it really looks like. And then once speed is finished in a bit, it'll start to look like Raptors from the campaign. Whereas our Terran player has actually got the Marine, what do you call them? Okay, I forgot what they're called. I haven't played the Winds of Liberty campaign in so long. Yeah. Okay, I forgot what they're called. Anyway, you know, the special Marines, the hero Marines that you can get from the Mercenary Marines. That's what they are. So we do see a factory being built from our Terran player, as well as a bunker. It's going to allow for some defense. We see a third command center being dropped by our Terran player. He's actually going to play a pretty greedy build, and already the wings have come out for our Zerg player, as you can see there. They really do look like raptors. It's like they're going to jump over the cliffs anytime soon. And I should actually just close Google Chrome just right now before people start getting a little bit confused as to whether or not their Facebook is doing things. I think this bunker is actually going to get completely surrounded, and these Hellions also getting completely surrounded too. So this defense is actually not very good for our Terran player at all. They're actually going to hack away at this base, and I think our Terran player actually has nothing to respond to it apart from just trying to repair everything. I don't think this is going to work very well. We do see Banelings being morphed in right now. This is actually a really smart idea, because currently our Terran player is just making a Marine and 2 Hellions. The Hellions are going to be pretty good versus the Banelings, but he just needs to run back, and here come the Banelings now. They just need to... Oh no, he's trapped the Banelings, and the wall is open now. Now he just basically needs to surround all of the units. Oh, look at that! That's some pretty sick hold position from these SCVs. It's actually going to save this Hellion, and actually that Hellion is going to get so many kills because of these SCVs just like defending it. And now the SCVs are going to die very soon. This SCV is actually going to die, and now the Zerglings do actually get that Hellion. But that was actually some pretty nice play. But we should be seeing a GG very soon, because I don't see. Yep, that's it. It's going to be GG from our Terran player. I think. So I'm not entirely sure where he went wrong. Maybe he just played a little bit too greedy and didn't exactly set up a proper defense before trying to expand again. As we saw there, just a bunker and a couple of Hellions. Sorry, 2 Hellions and a bunker was apparently not enough. So that was definitely quite an interesting game. As we figure out what the next map will be, we'll see what it is then. So obviously, because our Terran player lost, being whoops, our Terran player did end up losing. Him of course being computer. Crap. Whoops. We're gonna have to just set that up again. I may have accidentally clicked on the wrong thing. Where are you? Whoops. Okay. Alright, so we are going to move into our second game. This is going to be on Daybreak, as chosen by Computer, the losing player of our previous game. So as we can see, just probably a little bit of a mistake. We'll see whether Computer decides to defend first before trying to expand again. I think he did actually play really greedy beforehand, so we'll see how well he decides to go for it. So once again, in our top right hand corner we have our sort of light pink Terran. He is Computer. And in the bottom left hand corner of Daybreak we have our purple Zerg. He is Vivid. Oh, that's a pretty interesting decal right there. Anyway, so let's see how our players decide to play a little bit differently this time. I'm kind of hoping they decide to play differently, because oftentimes if the series is just the same sort of game like 2 times, then it actually just makes for a pretty boring series. So hopefully they decide to sort of change it up. I think our Terran player will definitely try and change it up. He should be, and if he doesn't make the mistake that he did last game, then we should be seeing a pretty heavy macro game, perhaps. Especially on this map, there are quite a few bases you can take, like your natural and at least your third. Some people then opt to go for their 4th round. Actually, they opt to go for their 4th round here because it's actually pretty easy to defend the natural and the 4th by positioning an army here. Of course, oftentimes the 3rd is the hardest to defend because the opposing army can in fact swoop in from around here and attack like that. So you really need to sort of keep an eye on the ball and sort of maybe place structures all over the place so you can get the map vision that you really need in order to survive on this map. So we do see a scouting SEV already, and once again hatch first from our Zerg player. It's actually pretty standard. We're going to see a barracks actually from our Terran player instead of a command center first. I think this is actually pretty smart. He shouldn't be going as greedy as he did last game. He is going to actually wall off this time, and he's going to make a marine place there, probably to get rid of that overlord as quickly as he can. Remember, as Zerg, when you send your scouting overlord, it can often get picked off really quickly, especially against Terran, especially when they can make their marines so quickly. It's quite annoying. So this overlord, we'll see if we can actually float away to around about here, where the marine will lose vision of it. Or at least until the overlord just floats out of range. I think the overlord will survive for now. If he actually turns the force right here, then actually this marine will not be able. Oh no, this marine! It might actually take out the overlord. Yes, it does. So now our Zerg player was just a little bit supply cap, and now he has to make a second one. We do see what appears to be the extractor trip right there. So now, as you can see here, our Zerg player is sitting on 21. Supply over 20 because he wanted to get those 2 queens out as quickly as he can. This is very smart from our Zerg player, because not being able to get out those queens fast enough has actually always been a pretty hard, pretty annoying thing to have. So now he's actually going to. So now our Terran player is going to expand once again. This time he's going a little bit more safe, I think. But I think this bunker placement is still not as good. He should put it like on the ramp, just around here maybe. That way the Zerglings would have a little bit of a harder time surrounding it, because that's pretty much how the bunker died in the first place in the first game, which is that it actually got surrounded. But this queen, what are you doing? We do see speed being researched. I think he'll be dropping down a Baneling Nest very soon as well. He'll probably go for the same build, something similar to that. Oh, we do see reactor coming down on the barracks, which means with that being a factory, we should be seeing reactor Hellions very soon. I think getting 2 Hellions is definitely going to be better than 1, for quite obvious reasons. So, oh, it looks like we're going to be seeing the Roach Warren instead of the Baneling Nest being dropped down by our Zerg player right there. I love this supply depot placement. Actually, it's going to basically it's like instead of placing the bunker where this supply depot is, he's decided to place the supply depot here and here, so now the Zerglings are going to have a really hard time surrounding this bunker. And in fact, now that the bunker is there, it can actually protect the natural as well, more or less. Like, I think the Marines can hit everything around here. Speed is done, and now 5 roaches are coming out. I think this is actually going to be probably some sort of a timing attack. I'm not sure how good it is. We'll see how well it goes. Some of you pro players out there may be thinking, oh, it's a 5 roach drop. Oh, it's a 5 roach timing attack, so sick, or something like that. Maybe it is sick, maybe it isn't. I don't know. We'll see how well it goes. Although, of course, our Terran player does have the bunker, but he only has Marines and Hellions, so this should actually work pretty well for our Zerg player. Our Terran player obviously has no idea about. Sorry, oops, wrong one. Yeah, our Terran player has no idea about the Roach Warren. So these 5 roaches sort of waddle their way around across the map. Bringing in more lings would be a little bit pointless. Bringing in more roaches would be a bit better. Placing that spine crawler is a really good idea, and I think now our Terran player actually knows about these roaches, and so he's gonna actually bring some SCVs down. He's gonna try and, well, no, he's just trying to repair. Oh, so there was actually a bit of a skirmish. Here he goes. Here comes the 5 roaches. He's gonna wait for a couple of lings as well. Not sure how well the lings are going to go, but they will draw some fire away from the roaches. That will definitely keep those roaches alive for a little bit. If we bring up the units tab, we actually have 13 roaches versus only 6 Marines and 7 Hellions. I think this is actually going to be very well for our player. So let's see how this decides to go. And here comes the roaches. They'll actually have free reign over that bunker, and this SCV not actually repairing that bunker fast enough. In fact, the bunker's gonna die. Yes, the bunker does die. The roaches are actually going to just completely destroy all these Marines and the Hellions, because the Marines and Hellions simply do not have enough DPS versus roaches. And oh no, the SCVs are being pulled off. I'm not sure if this is such a good idea. Oh, but they do actually allow the Hellions to try and get a few shots on these roaches, but it should be GG very soon from our Terran player right there. He's just got nothing to handle these roaches. Blue Flame is done, but oh no, but the Widow Mine does take out 2. Is it? There were 2 Widow Mines, so that was actually not a very good engagement right there. Oh, but the roaches are actually dead. These Hellions actually managing to take them all out, and now Blue Flame is done with these Zerglings. Cannot stand a chance against these Hellions right there. He should actually lower this wall so that he can take out these surviving Zerglings. But I think our Terran player is actually really behind now because of that attack. He's lost his natural. He's lost most of his SCVs as well. If we bring up the units lost tab, he's lost about 31 workers, and this is not actually going to be very good for our Terran player. I think he'll be down in a bit. Yes, I actually remembered the hotkey for units lost. It's Control R, everyone. So fun fact. Meanwhile, our Zerg player is already really far ahead. He's already getting up his 3rd. Actually, his 3rd is already up. My bad. He's actually getting Overlord speed and Roach speed too. This is actually really good. I think our Terran player really needs to try and attack, but he won't be able to do much damage because of Queens, Spine Crawlers, and all sorts of different things as well, especially when there are no roaches actually being produced right now. I'm actually surprised to see this, especially since he's getting Roach speed as well. I think he needs to get a couple of roaches in order to defend these Hellions, but I suppose the Spine Crawlers will be more than enough. Well, he actually only has 1. There's a second one coming down just around here. It's actually not going to be doing all that much. We do see a second factory already, and apparently it's already been... Oh, they're just going to try and kill all of these drones here, but there's only 2 drones. It's not going to work. Oh, but he might be able to take out all these... He might be able to take out all the Zerglings if he was paying enough attention, but unfortunately he was not. All the Zerglings weren't coming in a line, so because the Hellions do damage in a straight line, I think if they decided to attack, they might have been able to roast or at least damage quite a lot of those Zerglings. That would have been a pretty scary thing. But we do have 6 roaches coming out of our Zerg player, and a siege tank actually coming out from our Terran player. This is actually going to work really well versus roaches, because I think one thing that most players don't realize, siege tanks do extra damage versus armored units. Can't remember what the stats are, but I'm using a minimalistic sort of skin right here. But we do see a bit of an engagement. It's not going to work very well for our Terran player. He's already got his Hellions almost dead. He really needs to get rid of that Ling there, otherwise this engagement is not actually going to work at all for our Terran player. He needs to run back home, because roaches are actually really good versus Hellions. I mean, unless you have like a significantly large amount of Hellions against a relatively small amount of roaches. I mean, seriously, like the proportion has to be like so far that in order for Hellions to actually beat roaches. But we see Hive Tech coming out from our Zerg player. I think this may be a little bit of overkill. He may be overthinking this or just having a little bit of fun, because I think with just the amount of roaches, he could just kind of just A-move all. Oh no, he can't A-move in just yet with these Widow Mice. If he actually, I think our Terran player could actually claw his way back into the game with these Widow Mines if he manages to saturate these spaces as well. He should be in a good enough position. We'll see how well he goes. He really needs to keep these Hellions alive in order to sort of scout out where the roaches are, but the roaches are coming in from behind. This is not actually going to be a very good... I think he's not paying attention. Oh no, he is paying attention. That's good. He should try and bake these roaches into those Widow Mines. He should actually burrow those Widow Mines like right about here, especially since our third player has no detection whatsoever. He needs to kill off this Overlord, or else he's going to know that there are Widow Mines here. But now our Zerg player knows about the Widow Mines, and here comes the roaches, and they should actually kill. No, oh, this Hellion actually managing to sort of book it all the way back home, but we do see what appears to be quite a few Overlords just sort of all over the place. It's actually, I like this Overlord placement. It's actually getting a lot of vision for our Zerg player. He knows exactly where most things are. There's like lings here all over the place. Actually, a lot of this is lings. Actually, I didn't realize. I suppose the small squares are lings and the big squares are, in fact, roaches. We do have some Overlords floating around all over the place, giving a lot of vision for our Zerg player. He has quite a lot of map control, which is actually really good for him. Meanwhile, our Terran player actually has no idea what is going on. You can just see that the third is up. That's about it. It's actually just making some more Marines. I don't think, yes, making one Marauder is obviously not going to be enough. Looks like our Zerg player is actually going for 2-2 already, while our Terran player has only got 1-1. I don't think this is such a good idea to. Oh no. I think this may not be such a good idea to just bring all of these guys down here. This Ling, of course, is going to actually die already, but there's a second Ling right there. It's actually going to act as scout. And what do we have over there? Oh, okay. Looks like we do see the rocks, the debris being broken down for our Zerg player. He is actually bringing in Vipers as well, and now he's supply blocked. These Overlords being misplaced. Well, these Marines are not going to actually do enough. We do see some Fungals and some Blinding Clouds, so this is actually really good stuff for our Zerg player right there. He needs to bring these Widow Mines back home, but unfortunately there are some Overseers, so this is not actually going to work all that well. This Siege Tank actually apparently holding off this Zerg army. I think he's actually just sort of messing around here now. He's actually, he might decide to abduct that. Yes, he does abduct that Siege Tank right there, and the Siege Tank is going to fall. Fungal on, oh my god, Fungal and Blinding Cloud on that Marine Marauder army is actually really powerful. And those Marines and Marauders couldn't actually do anything at all. And now these roaches should be able to finish them off. But big hits from those big hits from those Widow Mines, taking out all the Overseers. And now these roaches are they could actually just get killed by these by these Widow Mines. And now what? They've actually burrowed. That wasn't such a good idea to unburrow those. But here comes the Widow Mine shot. Should not be able to kill these roaches at all. Not a very good shot there, right? Not a very good shot right there, but I think it should be GG from our Terran player very soon. Oh, there's actually quite a lot of Widow Mines. We'll see if he decides. We'll see if our Zerg player accidentally hits the. Ooh, that's a big hit right there, but not big enough, obviously, because now it is going to be GG from our Terran player. So it is basically our Zerg player has won. I think he basically had the game with that little engagement of Lings and such. He definitely lost. Well, he lost his command center in the natural, and that was a bit of a problem. Where he was basically behind the entire game. I think if he lifted it up, that would have helped quite a lot. Because he did actually die to Lings, funny enough, so that wasn't very good. But basically, that was a good game from both players, good series from both players. I liked how our Terran player did not surrender in the second game until the very last battle. But I think even at that point, it was quite obvious he was going to lose. So thanks for watching, everyone. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a button sort of down there. Yeah, there's a button sort of down there. For more StarCraft Collegiate Society action. I'll probably cast the game every so often, depending on who's coming on at what times. You can also follow me on Twitter at magician88 at gmail. Swear. You can also follow me on Twitter at magician88. You can also follow me at Twitch, uh, twitch.tv/magician88. Wow, I'm screwing this up. Uh, yeah, but apart from that, that's it. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Where's that? Where's that 2 key? Yeah.